Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the subtle sensations in your body, the gentle pulse of your heartbeat, the warmth in your hands, the weight of your feet against the floor. What you are experiencing right now isn't just your body, it's energy in motion, constantly shifting, adapting, and responding to everything around you. Science confirms what ancient philosophies have long taught: everything is energy. And our ability to work with it, manipulating energy, shapes the quality of our lives. At the core of existence, from the vast cosmos to the tiniest atom, everything vibrates. Quantum physics has shattered the old mechanistic view of the universe and revealed a world far stranger and more powerful than we ever imagined. Your body, your thoughts, even your emotions are forms of energy. Every cell in your body generates an electromagnetic field. Your brain emits measurable frequencies, and your very presence influences the energy field of the room you enter. You are not merely an observer in this grand design, you are an active participant, whether you realize it or not. Yet, most of us live as if we are disconnected from this truth. Our perception is shaped not by what is truly there but by what our brain allows us to notice. Neuroscientists estimate that the human brain processes around 11 million bits of information per second. Yet we are only consciously aware of about 40 of them. Imagine standing in a vast field of golden wheat, the wind dancing through endless stalks, but you can only see a tiny patch directly in front of you. That's how your mind filters reality. It selects what to focus on based on past experiences, emotions, and deep-seated beliefs, while the rest remains hidden from view. But what if you could widen your lens? What if you could manipulate energy to shift your awareness and see beyond these self-imposed limitations? Think about the last time you felt completely in sync with life, perhaps a conversation that flowed effortlessly, a decision that felt intuitively right, or a moment in nature where time seemed to slow down. That wasn't luck, that was energy alignment. In contrast, recall a time when everything felt off, when obstacles appeared at every turn. Conversations were strained, and your mind was cluttered. That, too, was energy, but misaligned, blocked, or dissipated inefficiently. The good news? You don't need more energy, you need to use what you already have in smarter ways. Scientific studies in cognitive psychology and neuroplasticity show that our brains are highly adaptable. Every new thought, every change in habit, rewires neural pathways. Dr. Richard Davidson, a leading neuroscientist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, discovered that long-term meditation practitioners have physically altered brain structures, strengthening areas associated with focus, emotional regulation, and resilience. This means that by intentionally directing our attention, by manipulating energy within our own minds, we can reshape our reality. But how do we begin? First, we must recognize the barriers that keep us stuck. Imagine trying to drive a car with the parking brake engaged. No matter how much you press the gas, you won't move freely. The same applies to your energy. Unconscious mental habits, worry, doubt, fear act like that brake, holding you back from experiencing the natural flow of energy in your body and mind. The first step to releasing it is awareness. Right now, scan your body. Notice any tension in your shoulders, jaw, or stomach. That tension is stored energy, held by years of conditioning. The moment you become aware of it, you take the first step toward freeing it. Second, practice shifting your attention deliberately. Your focus is like a flashlight in a dark room. Whatever you shine it on becomes clear while everything else fades. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, your brain strengthens those neural pathways. If you shift toward possibility, creativity, and resilience, those pathways become stronger instead. This is not just positive thinking, it's rewiring your brain for energy efficiency. A practical exercise. Before bed tonight, reflect on 3 moments from your day where you felt a sense of ease, connection, or joy, no matter how small. Maybe it was the taste of your morning coffee, a moment of laughter with a friend, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. As you recall these moments, feel the energy they created within you. This simple practice trains your brain to notice and amplify positive energy, creating a feedback loop that strengthens over time. Finally, understand that your perception of energy is not fixed. It expands with practice. Athletes train their reflexes, musicians refine their ear, and you, too, can train your mind to become more sensitive to the subtle flow of energy around and within you. Scientists have found that people who regularly engage in mindfulness practices develop greater interoception, meaning they can sense changes in their body's internal state with remarkable accuracy. What once felt intangible, the movement of energy, the shifts in awareness, becomes as real and accessible as your heartbeat. Now, take a moment to sit still. Notice the space around you, the energy in your breath, the sensations in your hands. This is where transformation begins. Manipulating energy isn't about control, it's about cooperation. The same way a skilled sailor doesn't fight the wind but learns to harness it. You can learn to work with your own energy, guiding it toward clarity, vitality, and presence. In the coming chapters, we will dive deeper into the unseen patterns shaping your reality. You will learn how perception filters your experience, how quantum physics reveals the hidden nature of existence, and how to apply these principles in a way that brings measurable change to your life. But for now, remember this: energy is always moving, always responding, and you are its conductor. What you focus on, you empower. The question is, where will you direct it next? Imagine waking up in a world where nothing is as it seems. The colors you see, the sounds you hear, the very sensations you feel, none of them exist in their raw form. Instead, they are carefully constructed by your brain, shaped by what it believes is important. Your reality is not an objective truth, but a finely tuned illusion, a mental projection designed to help you navigate the world. Science has proven this again and again. We do not see reality as it is. We see it as we are. And yet, few people ever question this illusion. They live inside it, unaware that they have the power to reshape it. But what if you could? What if you could learn the hidden mechanics of perception, understand how your mind filters the world, and begin manipulating energy to create a reality that serves you rather than limits you? Your brain is an extraordinary filtering machine. Every second, it is bombarded with more than 11 million bits of information. But your conscious mind can only process about 40 of them. What happens to the rest? They are discarded, ignored, deemed irrelevant based on past experiences, emotions, and beliefs. This is why two people can witness the same event and interpret it completely differently. One sees danger. The other sees opportunity. One sees a problem. The other sees a solution. The world has not changed, but their perception of it has. Neuroscientists call this selective attention, and it governs everything you experience. If you believe the world is full of negativity, your brain will filter reality to confirm that belief. If you believe you are too old to change, your mind will show you proof of that limitation. But just as your perception shapes your world, it can be reshaped. Consider a simple exercise. Right now, become aware of the sounds around you. Perhaps you hear the hum of an appliance, the distant chatter of people, or the rustling of leaves outside. A moment ago, these sounds existed, but they were outside your awareness. The moment you focused on them, they became part of your experience. This is a small but profound realization. Where you place your attention determines your reality. This is not just a poetic idea, it is a fundamental principle of neuroscience. Research from the University of California, Berkeley, has shown that when people shift their focus, they activate different neural networks in the brain, essentially rewiring their perception. This means that by learning to direct your attention with intention, you can actively engage in manipulating energy, influencing the way your brain constructs reality. But perception is not only shaped by attention, it is deeply colored by expectation. One of the most striking examples of this comes from optical neuroscience. Have you ever seen a banana under blue light? Even when the wavelengths reaching your eyes are entirely blue, your brain still perceives the banana as yellow. Why? Because your mind expects bananas to be yellow. This phenomenon, known as color constancy, is a perfect example of how our brains alter perception to match what they believe should be true. It is not just light and color that are manipulated this way, our expectations shape every aspect of our experience. If you expect to fail, your mind will filter the world in a way that reinforces that expectation. If you expect to thrive, you will notice opportunities others overlook. Now, let's take this idea further. Imagine two people walking into the same room full of strangers. One enters with the belief, "People here won't be interested in me." As they move through the space, their mind picks up on subtle cues that confirm this belief. Someone glances away. A group laughs at an inside joke. A person doesn't immediately return their smile. Their energy contracts, their posture closes off, and their worst fears are confirmed. The second person walks in with a different belief. There are people here who will enjoy my company. They notice a welcoming nod, an open seat, a familiar face. Their body language is more relaxed. And because of this, their interactions flow more easily. The environment was the same, but the experience was worlds apart. This is the matrix of perception in action. Your brain creates a reality that aligns with what it already believes. This is why manipulating energy is so critical. It is not about forcing the world to change, but about shifting the way you interact with it. The great psychologist William James once said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes." This is now backed by decades of research in cognitive neuroscience and neuroplasticity. Your brain is not fixed, it is adaptable. The patterns you have lived with for decades, patterns of doubt, worry, limitation, are not permanent structures. They are simply well-worn neural pathways that can be rewritten. So, how do you begin? Start by becoming conscious of your perceptual filters. Throughout your day, ask yourself, what am I focusing on? What assumptions am I making? What am I filtering out? When you catch yourself locked in a negative perception, pause and reframe it. Instead of thinking, this is a bad situation, ask, what else might be true here? Instead of, I am too old to change, try, what small shift can I make today? These subtle changes in language create space for new possibilities, and your brain will respond accordingly. Next, train your awareness like a muscle. Just as an artist learns to see color more vividly and a musician trains their ear to detect subtle tones, you can sharpen your ability to notice the energy around you. A simple yet powerful exercise is the hand awareness practice. Right now, bring your attention to your hands. Don't move them, just feel them. Within seconds, you may notice a tingling sensation, warmth, or a faint pulsing. These sensations were always there, but your brain had filtered them out. This practice teaches you how to tune into subtleties of perception, making the once invisible visible. Finally, embrace the truth that you are an active creator of your reality. The stories you tell yourself, the beliefs you hold, and the patterns you reinforce are shaping every moment of your experience. Just as a sculptor chisels away at stone to reveal the figure within, you have the power to shape the energy of your life through deliberate perception. This is not about ignoring reality but about engaging with it in a way that empowers you. The world you see is not the world as it is the world as your mind creates it. But unlike a movie you passively watch, this is a film in which you are both the director and the actor. Every moment offers a choice, to remain confined within old perceptions or to step beyond them and see reality anew. The path to transformation begins not with force, but with awareness. The more you recognize your role in shaping perception, the more you gain the ability to shape your life. This is the essence of manipulating energy, not bending reality to your will, but learning to move with its natural flow, guiding it in a direction that serves your highest potential. As we move forward, we will dive even deeper into the unseen forces shaping our existence. We will explore the intersection of neuroscience and quantum physics, uncovering the ways in which perception extends beyond the mind and into the very fabric of reality itself. But for now, remember this: every experience, every moment, every possibility is filtered through the lens of your awareness. If you change the lens, you change the world. The choice is yours. What will you see next? Imagine standing before a mirror, gazing into your own reflection. At first glance, you see yourself exactly as expected, the familiar contours of your face, the way the light catches your eyes, the subtle expressions that come and go. But what if that mirror wasn't just reflecting your physical form? What if it also revealed the energy flowing through you, the hidden forces shaping your every thought, decision, and perception? Now, imagine that simply by looking at your reflection, you could alter it not just as an illusion, but as a fundamental shift in reality itself. This isn't science fiction, this is quantum physics. And more importantly, this is manipulating energy at its most profound level. For centuries, philosophers and mystics have suggested that our awareness plays a role in shaping reality. Today, quantum physics has confirmed that this is not mere speculation but a measurable fact of existence. The observer effect, one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern physics, has shown that the mere act of observation changes the behavior of particles at the smallest level of reality. In a now famous experiment, physicists fired electrons through two slits in a barrier. expecting them to behave like particles and create two distinct patterns. But when unobserved, the electrons acted like waves, passing through both slits simultaneously and creating an interference pattern. The moment a scientist measured them, however, the electrons chose a single path, behaving as solid particles. In other words, the conscious act of observing influenced the outcome. What does this mean for you? If observation has the power to change physical reality at the quantum level, what effect does your own attention, intention, and perception have on the world around you? If subatomic particles respond to being observed, then every moment of awareness is an act of creation. You are not merely witnessing life, you are actively shaping it. The key is to understand how to direct this power with precision and clarity. Let's take a step back and apply this concept in a practical way. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly sensed tension, even before anyone spoke? Or met someone whose presence felt inexplicably calming? Science tells us this is not just intuition, it's energy. Your body is an electromagnetic system, constantly sending and receiving signals. The Harmath Institute, a leading research center on the science of heart-brain communication, has found that the human heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the body. More remarkably, this field is affected by emotional states. Anger and frustration create chaotic, erratic energy patterns, while gratitude and love produce coherent, harmonious waves. Just as the electrons in the quantum experiment respond to observation, the energy we emit interacts with the energy around us, shaping our experiences. But energy doesn't just radiate outward, it also determines what we attract. Neuroscientists have identified a brain network called the reticular activating system, RAS, that acts as a filter, selectively focusing on information that aligns with our beliefs and expectations. If you've ever decided to buy a new car and suddenly started noticing that exact model everywhere, that's your RAS at work. Now, imagine what happens when you habitually focus on stress, fear, or limitations. Your brain will filter reality to confirm those experiences, reinforcing a loop of struggle and stagnation. Conversely, if you direct your attention toward solutions, opportunities, and higher states of consciousness, your perception shifts accordingly. This is not blind optimism, it is an intentional act of manipulating energy by adjusting your focus. Much like a radio tuning into a specific frequency. One of the most powerful ways to harness this principle is through conscious attention redirection. The next time you find yourself overwhelmed by negativity, stop and ask, what else is present? If you're stuck in worry, shift your awareness to your breath. If you're trapped in frustration, look for anything beautiful around you. The act of redirecting attention may seem small, but it has profound neurological effects. Studies on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, show that repeated shifts in focus create new neural pathways, making it easier to adopt positive states of mind over time. This is not just thinking differently, it is physically reshaping your brain's architecture to align with higher energy states. Beyond perception, quantum physics also challenges our understanding of time and space. Traditional physics teaches us that events unfold in a linear sequence, past, present, future. But at the quantum level, time behaves differently. Experiments with quantum entanglement have demonstrated that two particles, once linked, remain connected no matter how far apart they are. What happens to one instantly affects the other, defying the limits of space and time. The implications are staggering. Separation is an illusion, and reality is far more interconnected than we once believed. What does this mean for everyday life? It suggests that your thoughts, emotions, and intentions ripple far beyond what you can immediately see. Just as entangled particles influence each other across vast distances, the energy you cultivate within yourself affects the collective field around you. When you choose to elevate your energy through gratitude, presence, or purposeful action, you are not just changing your own experience, you're participating in a broader shift in consciousness. So how can you begin applying these insights? Start with these 3 practices. Observe with awareness throughout your day. Notice where your attention naturally flows. Are you focusing on what expands your energy or what contracts it? When you observe yourself slipping into old habits of worry or doubt, pause. The act of noticing itself disrupts the pattern and opens the door to change. Consciously direct your energy before entering any situation. Set an energetic intention. If you're about to meet someone, decide in advance what kind of energy you want to bring. If you're facing a challenge, visualize a state of clarity and strength. This simple shift primes your brain and energy field for a different experience. Expand your perception. Each morning, ask yourself, what am I not seeing? This primes your mind to notice possibilities outside of its usual filters. Keep a journal of unexpected insights, synchronicities, or shifts in awareness. Over time, you will start to recognize patterns that were previously invisible. Reality is not fixed. It is fluid, responding to the way you engage with it. The principles of quantum physics are not confined to laboratories, they are woven into the very fabric of your existence. Manipulating energy is not about controlling the external world but about refining your inner world. Shifting your state of being so that reality reorganizes itself in response. You are far more powerful than you have been led to believe. Every thought, every choice, every moment of focused awareness sends ripples through the unseen field of possibilities. The question is not whether you are shaping reality, you already are. The question is, how will you shape it from this moment forward? As we move into the next chapter, we will explore the final veil that must be lifted, the illusion of separation between self and reality. The quantum world has already hinted at this truth. Now, it is time to fully embody it, to step beyond the barriers of perception and into the boundless potential of who you truly are. There comes a moment in life when the veil lifts, and we see clearly, perhaps for the first time, that the boundaries we believed in were never really there. The illusion of separation, the belief that we are isolated, limited beings navigating an indifferent universe, is a construct of the mind. We were never separate from the energy that moves through all things. Never cut off from the deeper intelligence that orchestrates existence. Manipulating energy is not about forcing the world to conform to our will but about dissolving the illusion that we were ever separate from it in the first place. Science has already confirmed what mystics have long known: everything is interconnected. At the quantum level, particles that were once connected remain linked, no matter how far apart they are. This phenomenon, known as quantum entanglement, defies classical logic. It suggests that distance is not an obstacle, that information and influence transcend the physical space we perceive. But this is not just a phenomenon of subatomic particles. It is a reflection of something greater. The fabric of reality itself is woven together, and we are part of that intricate design. Your thoughts, your emotions, your presence, all of these extend beyond your body, interacting with the world in ways both seen and unseen. For decades, scientists have studied the effects of human consciousness on physical reality. In the famous Global Consciousness Project, researchers at Princeton University found that when major world events occurred, such as 9/11 or the death of a global leader, random number generators around the world displayed unexpected patterns, as if collective human emotion was subtly influencing the flow of information. This suggests that consciousness is not confined to individual brains but exists in a shared field, much like the way the cells in your body operate within a single organism. Just as a flock of birds moves in perfect synchrony without a leader directing them, we, too, are constantly exchanging information with the world around us, shaping and being shaped by it. But if we are truly connected to all things, why do we feel so separate? The answer lies in the mind. From an early age, we are taught to see ourselves as independent, self-contained individuals. Society reinforces the idea that success means standing apart, that strength means self-reliance, that we must fight for our place in the world. But this conditioning blinds us to the deeper truth. Life is not a battle to be won. It is a rhythm to be harmonized with. Manipulating energy is not about dominance. It is about alignment, learning to move with the natural currents of existence rather than against them. Consider water. When met with an obstacle, water does not resist, it flows around, over, or through. It does not cling to any fixed form. Yet it is unstoppable in its movement. When you stop fighting reality, when you surrender the illusion of control and begin working with the natural energies of life, you become like water, fluid, adaptable, and infinitely powerful. But this requires a shift, a conscious decision to break free from the mental prison of limitation. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to the way your mind constructs reality. How often do you tell yourself, "I can't"? How many times have you thought, "This is just the way things are"? These are not truths. They are conditioned responses, mental habits that reinforce separation. Neuroscience has shown that the brain is highly plastic, meaning it can be rewired at any age. Studies at Harvard have demonstrated that even in later life, new neural connections can form, allowing for expanded awareness and heightened cognitive flexibility. The simple act of questioning your thoughts, of asking, "Is this truly the only way?" begins the process of breaking free. The second step is conscious participation. If your mind is constantly shaping reality, then it stands to reason that you should take an active role in directing that process. Every thought, every belief, every focus of attention is an act of creation. If you dwell on fear, your world becomes smaller. If you cultivate gratitude, your experience expands. The Harmath Institute has found that emotions like appreciation and compassion create measurable coherence in the body's electromagnetic field, which in turn influences the nervous system, immune response, and even the energy of those around you. This means that manipulating energy is not an abstract concept, it is a practical skill. A way of tuning your inner state so that your outer reality shifts accordingly. A simple yet profound practice is the energy reset technique. The next time you feel stuck, anxious, or disconnected, do the following. First, place your hand on your heart and take 3 slow, deep breaths. As you inhale, imagine drawing in warmth and light. As you exhale, release tension and resistance. Then, recall a moment, any moment where you felt deeply at peace. Maybe it was sitting by the ocean, feeling the sun on your face, or a quiet evening with a loved one. Hold that sensation in your mind and let it spread through your body. This small shift in focus alters your energetic state instantly, aligning you with a higher frequency of awareness. Do this daily, and you will notice profound changes in how you experience the world. The final step is trusting the flow. Too often, we resist change out of fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of losing control. But control is an illusion. The greatest transformations come not from grasping tighter but from letting go. Imagine trying to hold onto a river. The tighter your grip, the more water slips through your fingers. But if you allow yourself to float, to trust the movement, you are carried effortlessly. Life works the same way. When you stop resisting, when you surrender the need to dictate every outcome, you create space for possibilities far greater than what your limited mind can conceive. This is the great paradox of energy. The more you try to force it, the more resistance you create. But when you align with it, when you recognize that you are already part of the current, everything begins to shift. You are not separate from the energy of life. You are not an isolated observer, standing outside of reality. You are the wave and the ocean, the dancer and the dance. Manipulating energy is not about changing the world, it is about changing how you see, interact with, and flow through it. And in doing so, the world changes with you. So take a breath, feel the space around you. Recognize that you are connected to all things. And all things are connected to you. This is not philosophy, this is reality. The science has spoken. The wisdom of ages has confirmed it. And now, it is up to you. Step beyond the illusion of separation. Step into the vast, limitless energy that you have always been a part of. And begin the greatest journey of all, the journey of conscious creation. Because in the end, the only real question is, what will you choose to create next?